is really unique. We have started out going to the brothels to both evangelize and to invite women to our clinic, and we see hell on earth. I can't describe what it was like for me the first time to see a little 5 or 6-year-old knowing that she'd been sold. Then we go to the House of Hope and we see where heaven can meet hell, because these children and these women who are out without any hope now have hope through Christ and the work that goes on there.
I just saw these women that have such beautiful souls, you know, and I didn't really care what they had done. They were all the same to me as any other woman that I would have seen. I just wanted to show them some tenderness. I was very fearful of ministering to women who, when I don't speak the language, but God was good. He gave me a wonderful translator who was very much a beautiful child of God, who ministered to these women in a way that I never could.
Hi, my name is Nancy, and I'm an OB-GYN. This is my first time to House of Hope. The stories are absolutely horrifying. You cannot come into this institution and touch these children, hug these children, without just grieving. And it gets to the point that you really have to just sort of stop the depth of the grieving that you're plummeting into, because otherwise you are not able to actually help the children. April, who runs the House of Hope, is an incredible woman. She and a few other handful of people have actually organized this, where they go in and they forcibly rescue these children and they save them and direct them to Christ. It's my privilege to have a small hand in that.
Here at the House of Hope, I was very much surprised at the dental needs and spiritual needs of these people. I found it a great honor to be able to participate a bit and hopefully help these young ladies out.
First time I came here, I felt like my hands were tied when women would come into gynecology asking for a pap smear, and we couldn't do it. We've been able, through GHO trips now, to get to the point where we can do colposcopy and LEEPs and advanced preventive therapy for cervical cancer, which is the #1 killer of all people here in Nicaragua. 90% of women will never have a pap smear in their life. So I'm really happy that we can try to help them.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm a pharmacist with GHO trips, and when I first stumbled upon the human trafficking trip that God was leading me to, I must admit I was very naive about this whole issue, and I've really had my eyes opened. Before my first trip, I read some books on trafficking, and it was extremely surreal for me to go from reading these horrific stories in this book to holding a little precious child in my arms that had been a victim of it. And for me, it's just been very emotionally overwhelming, but also I just have a lot of joy and hope to see what is going on, not only through GHO and the medical aspect of it, but just so many different ministries that are coming around this issue and really trying to combat it.
My name is Josh Worley, and I was a logistics worker at the Nicaragua trip for House of Hope, and it was just awesome to be able to work with the doctors and pharmacists and just be able to help them do their task even better than they already do. It was also amazing just to see how people that are working for God, what they can accomplish together.
It's been wonderful for me to get to come back to House of Hope again, because the kids love you. They came racing up because they remember you. And what's wonderful is to see the progress that they've made from going to such enslavement and sadness and anger and low self-esteem to developing so that they're going to be able to reintegrate to society. We actually, in 6 months, see phenomenal change happening in these women and children.